There was a time when people passed by her without even noticing. She sat on the sidewalks of one of America's busiest cities, her clothes torn, her hands stretched out, asking strangers for a few coins to survive another day. To most, she was invisible, just another homeless woman lost in the chaos of modern life. But today, that same woman is the proud owner of a fortune worth $15 million. Her life story is not just about money, but about resilience, transformation, and the belief that even the most broken beginnings can lead to extraordinary destinies. Her name is Cynthia Rodriguez. 20 years ago, Cynthia was at rock bottom. She had lost her parents at a young age, grew up in foster care, and by the time she was in her early 20s, she had no one to turn to. Abusive relationships, poor choices, and a lack of opportunity pushed her into homelessness. The streets became her only shelter, and begging became her only source of income. People often threw insults at her, telling her to get a job, without realizing how impossible it was for someone without an address, without proper clothes, and without even a shower to be hired anywhere. But deep inside, Cynthia carried something that poverty couldn't take away: her sharp mind. She would often sit by the corner of a coffee shop, not just asking for money, but reading books that people threw away. Old business magazines, discarded newspapers, even free public library books became her teachers. She studied people, observed how they talked about money, real estate, and business. She was hungry, not only for food, but also for knowledge. One day, a man who regularly saw her reading instead of just sitting idly decided to strike up a conversation. His name was Mr. Anderson, a retired real estate investor. Unlike others who pitted her, he was intrigued by her determination. He asked her, "Why do you always read these books?" Cynthia replied, "Because one day I won't be sitting here. One day I'll be inside those buildings, not outside of them." That conversation changed everything. Mr. Anderson didn't give her money out of pity. Instead, he gave her advice and mentorship. He taught her the basics of real estate, how properties appreciate, how investments work, and how determination matters more than starting capital. He even helped her secure her first low-income housing unit through a government program, giving her the stability she needed to begin again. With that stability, Cynthia found a part-time job cleaning offices. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. Every paycheck she received, she saved a small portion. Slowly, she built enough to take a leap into buying her first small property, a rundown apartment that nobody wanted. She lived in one part of it and rented out the rest. The rent she collected became her first stream of passive income. Cynthia wasn't just lucky, she was relentless. She spent nights learning about property markets, attending free seminars, and networking with realtors. Every time she earned profit, she reinvested it. Within 10 years, she had turned her single apartment into multiple properties spread across the city. Her breakthrough came during the real estate boom. She invested in areas most people ignored, neighborhoods that looked broken but carried hidden potential. While others chased luxury, she focused on affordable housing, a demand that never disappeared. Her vision paid off. By the time the neighborhoods flourished, her investments multiplied. Today, Cynthia Rodriguez owns a real estate empire valued at over $15 million. She no longer sits on the sidewalks asking for change. Instead, she walks into boardrooms as a respected businesswoman. She hires others, donates to shelters, and supports organizations that help homeless people get back on their feet. She says, "I was invisible once. Now I use my voice to make sure no one else feels invisible." Cynthia's story is more than rags to riches. It's proof that determination can rewrite any destiny. From a woman who begged for coins to a millionaire who builds futures, her journey reminds us that success doesn't always begin with privilege. Sometimes it begins with pain, hunger, and an unshakable dream.